Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through the Hawthorn vs Carlton game, going through who went well, who didn't go so well, and how this can sort of affect how we look at who to get when even just looking at this, like Sicily, etc., and how he's almost a must now when he comes back, and how Docherty is a must for a lot of people, as well as potentially taking a risk on Shearer or Akers. But yeah, other than that, before we get into the video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So as you can see here, Josh Ward 91 was the top scorer for Hawthorn with Morrison. Just a consistent output for him across the four quarters pretty much, 23-23, 26-19. Then you move on to Morrison, who had a huge third. I remember just looking up and then realising that he'd caught up to the likes of Docherty, who was tracking pretty much number one, because I was sort of just tracking my players and realised that Docherty was well ahead. And then, yeah, as you can see here in the space of outside of 2, even here outside of 2 and 7 to 9, he had 30 points in the space of 11 minutes basically, and that's what rocketed him up the leaderboard, and I think it got him to 87 here, as you can see, 87 when I checked it, as well as that was pretty much, I think, almost above Docherty at that point. Then we move on here, Warple 89, he sort of just petered out into that 80-90 guy that we thought he would be when he got his roll back, but he was a good initial pick, but then once you could get him up to those 100 scorers, he's turned out to be sort of just a meh pick in the end. Newcomb started off really strongly, but then fell away massively. As you can see here, a 13 and a 14-point second and fourth quarter really didn't help him, and he looked really good. So I'd be watching this one, as I think he can explode. I'm just waiting for that explosion to happen, as I don't think this is showing signs of something here, as I think he will go on in these last couple games for the year and could quite possibly be the pick next year, but we'll have to wait and see. But I think this isn't as bad as does look, him getting 87. Scrimshaw 83 and Weddle 83 as well. Scrimshaw doesn't really matter. Weddle had a really good last quarter, so I'd be anyone that has him, probably it's time to jump off of him, as he's probably going to be your last rookie. And yeah, just time to jump off of him. Will Day 79, another disappointing game for him, and it just looked like he wasn't the one this week. Cannot play that Jordan Dawson sort of role that Jordan Dawson was playing when he was getting 110, 115. I don't think Will Day can. As well as Mitchell here 79, another distributing guy getting 79 for the Hawks, just really shows that they really struggled to get their hands on the footy. And yeah, he had a good second half of 52, and I think that was the same with Will Day with a 49-point second half, but then they just couldn't get their hands on the ball in the first half, and that really limited their scores into the sub 100 range. Wingard 78, Amon 74, Meek 73. Meek really dominated once Reeves got ruled out, as they had a ruck dominance from the start with no designated ruckman from Carlton. I mean, did Cripper even go into the ruck for a little bit? Don't think he did, but he could have. Did Kemp go in? Was that who went in? It was someone down here that went in. It was Young. I know Young went in, so he must have been one of the only ones. And yeah, so they just had some other... Did Wiedering do some ruck work? Don't think he did. I know that Mackay definitely did. I'm pretty sure someone... Yeah, Mackay here did do some ruck work here. They just had an all-round, just Ryan, and Silvani probably would have done some ruck work as well. Yeah, he did some ruck work as well. So they had an all-round trying to just filter in the cracks. And it'll be interesting who plays Carlton next week. They've got Freo next week, so Darcy, if Pitnet or De Koning is still out, which I doubt they will be, Darcy will be a massive pickup. Even so, Jackson could be a massive pickup as well, but I doubt that Jackson will ruck terribly much. It will be Darcy with like 70 hitouts or something ridiculous. So that's the reason why Meek had a decent game. Fergus Green missed a lot of chances. This could have been honestly probably a 75-80 score from him quite easily. He missed, I think, 3 chances, I want to say, plus also this kick here. He kicked 2 goals, 2 in the end here. It looks like he missed also a kick that was rushed through as well. So he could have easily, he had like 5 or 6 opportunities on goal. Could have kicked a lot more. Then you got Moore here, who's just been disappointing, and glad I didn't jump on him because, man, he's just been so inconsistent. And I don't think he's getting the marks and tackles that he was last year that have enabled him to. Even just also here, it looks like he's ending up with about 15 touches. So he's just not getting enough volume in to be able to score. Rees was subbed out after halfway through the third. I don't know whether that was injury related or something, or whether they just knew that they were dominating the ruck so much that they could just go to one designated ruckman. And yeah, he was on track for a pretty good decent score actually. It probably would have ended up around 95 or something, which would have been their top scorer. Then you have Hardwick, who just struggled. Lewis, Bruce, Nash really struggled. So he really does do well when he's tagging someone, but I don't think he was necessarily tagging someone this week. I might have been tagging Cripps, but he sometimes really just struggles and sometimes ends up with like a 120, and he just doesn't look like he was able to get any marks, if that, to help his score go up. Butler, Frost, McGuinness, and then Blank, and that pretty much rounds out Hawthorn. Then we move over to Carlton. Harry Mackay, 118, huge last quarter where he kicked a goal and just had 3 or 4 marks here. Did he end up 1 goal 2 at least? 2 goals 2, 2 goals 3 for the game, I'm pretty sure. So pretty inaccurate, but getting there. Then you have Chera here, who looks to be a decent option. I'm just going to watch him because there's certainly better options at the moment with him, but you never know with that M8 role whether you want Chera or something who could go big on a day that Carlton just decide to kick it round the back, etc. Then you have Akers here, who had a massive first and then sort of just didn't do much for the rest of the day and got up to 113. Docherty sort of really consistent, which was what I wanted from him, and actually didn't rely too much on marks from memory. If we look here at his stats, 17, 9, 6 and 5, if we look there, that really shows that he can score without taking a lot of marks. Like he did a 1-2-4 before the bye with 9 marks, and he's got Freo coming up where they might decide to just kick it around the back, honestly, against Freo, which could really help out his scoring. So I'm just hoping he gets that a lot of those marks, because that will really help out his scoring. McGovern, pretty good in the last quarter to get that score up. Kerno was pretty hard to control for Hawthorn's sake pretty much throughout the day. Ended up 92. Cripper, 91. Again, a disappointing display from him. But he's looking, I think he could be an option next year. That's the thing. Sard, Walsh, 90, was again disappointing after a blitz in the first half. Silvani, Fogarty, Kemp, 86. He's done actually really well in that role, even though I don't think he really should be in that intercepting role. Martin, Cunningham had a really good first half and then nothing in the second. Wiedering, Young, Newman had just an all-round dud game, and he's just going to drop in price massively. Kerno, Kennedy playing full games now is sort of just derailed his anything that he had going for him. Boyd, always Hewitt came on in the last quarter and actually did all right. So waiting to see what role he has now, as I believe he's going to be like 400k or something ridiculous. If we look here, Hewitt is now already down to 570, and I'm pretty sure he still has another really high break even again, meaning he's just going to drop massively. So we'll see with Hewitt. How old is Hewitt? He's 27, so if he can get back to full playing time rather than the sub, I think we could be looking at a guy next year. He's priced at 69. I mean, he could easily go down again, and we could be looking at a guy priced at like 65, 64 if he gets a full-time role. That could be really good next year, so just keep an eye on that for next year. And then Sincotta really struggled. and he's just dropping in cash massively now. If we look at Chincotta here now, he's priced at 375 and has probably got a bad break even as well. So that's the video there. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next recap that hopefully will be uploaded sometime soon. I did get delayed a little bit today, but hopefully it will be up, the Melbourne versus GWS game, and then you've got the West Coast versus St Kilda game. That should be up as well on the Tuesday as well. Thanks guys, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.